Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel where you learn real English through real-life stories. Today, you're about to listen to one of the most emotional, powerful, and unforgettable biographies ever told. This is not just a story. It's a journey. A journey of pain, love, heartbreak, loss, fame, kindness, and silent strength. This is the story of Keanu Reeves. You know him from The Matrix, John Wick, Speed, and many more. But what you don't know is that he was very close to death. He lived a life full of pain, sacrifices, and silent tears. He didn't just act in movies. He lived through storms. He lost his father, his daughter, his girlfriend, his best friend, and almost lost himself. But still, he stood up every time. Quietly, humbly, and strongly. He trained day and night to become Neo in The Matrix. He gave up millions of dollars to support others. He still rides the subway like a normal person. He still helps homeless people without cameras or attention. He still lives like a simple man with a golden heart. And that's why this story is not just entertainment. It is a powerful English listening lesson. You will learn how to understand English, feel real emotions, and improve your vocabulary while listening to the most inspiring life story ever. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel to support us and enjoy more stories like this one. Now, put on your earphones, sit back, and feel every single moment of this journey. Let's begin. Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2, 1964, in a city far away called Beirut in Lebanon. His mother, Patricia Taylor, was from England. She was a costume designer, creative, smart, and independent. His father, Samuel Nowlin Reeves Jr., was from Hawaii, with a mix of Chinese, Hawaiian, and English roots. He worked as a geologist, but later struggled with drugs and left the family. When Keanu was just 3 years old, his father walked away from their lives. And by the time Keanu was 6, his father completely disappeared. Keanu never saw him again. His mother was left alone, raising 2 kids. They moved again and again, from Beirut to Australia, then to New York, and finally to Toronto, Canada. Keanu grew up with a younger sister named Kim Reeves. He loved her deeply. Later in life, when she got cancer, Keanu stayed by her side like a real-life superhero. His mother married 4 different men. So Keanu had to live with different stepfathers. Some were kind, some were not. He changed schools many times. He often felt alone, like an outsider. But one thing was clear. Keanu was different. Keanu had a tough time in school. He was diagnosed with dyslexia, a learning disorder that made it hard for him to read and focus. He once said, "I was never good at school. I didn't fit in. I struggled to read. I wasn't the best student." He went to 4 different high schools in just 5 years. But Keanu was not lazy. He was smart, just not in the traditional way. He had a deep imagination, and he was curious about everything. Here's something not everyone knows. Keanu loved chess. He used to play against adults in the park, and sometimes he would win easily. He once said, "I love chess. It's a war on a board. The strategy, the patience, the pain, it's like life." But even in chess, he often played alone. It was his escape from the world. Keanu also had a passion for ice hockey. He played as a goalkeeper, and he was amazing at it. His teammates called him the Wall because no one could score against him. He dreamed of becoming a professional ice hockey player, maybe even going to the Olympics one day. But that dream ended when he got injured. He had to stop playing seriously. This moment broke him inside. But sometimes, when one dream ends, another begins. In school, Keanu joined a drama class. He stood on stage, performed a scene, and something clicked inside him. He felt free. He could be anyone, feel anything, speak what was in his heart. That's when he thought, maybe I could become an actor. His heart was set. At the age of 17, he officially dropped out of school and said goodbye to traditional education. He started doing theater, TV commercials, and small roles in Canada. To survive, he worked part-time as a cook, a manager, and even a pasta chef in a restaurant. He had no support, no special contacts, no money. But he had one thing: unbreakable will. At age 20, Keanu took his old Volvo car, said goodbye to Canada, and drove to Los Angeles. Alone, hungry, unknown, but filled with hope. He wanted to chase his dream in Hollywood, where stars are made or broken. He had no big plan, no agent, no family waiting for him. He just had a dream and a little money in his pocket. He stayed at his stepfather's place for some time, but soon he was on his own. He started visiting acting studios, knocking on doors, and auditioning for anything: TV ads, background roles, even theater in small basements. And guess what? People didn't understand him. They found his name Keanu too strange. So at first, agents told him to change it to something easy and American. Can you believe that? They told him, "You won't get roles with a name like Keanu." But Keanu didn't like fake things. He tried using the name K.C. Reeves briefly. But it didn't feel right. So he said, "No. My name is Keanu Reeves. I'll make it work." He finally got his first small movie role in a Canadian film called One Step Away, 1985. Not many watched it, but Keanu's face began to show up. Then came a bigger opportunity. River's Edge, 1986. This was a dark and emotional film, a story about teens and murder. Keanu played a boy who tries to make sense of his world falling apart. His performance was natural, raw, and people started saying, "There's something special about this guy." During these early years, Keanu traveled a lot. He went back and forth between Toronto and Los Angeles. He didn't care about money or fame. He cared about acting, honesty, and real emotions. He used to drive thousands of miles just to act in a play or join a film, even if it paid very little. He didn't party. He didn't chase luxury. He just wanted to work hard and create real art. In 1989, something unexpected happened. Keanu got the role of Ted in a crazy comedy film, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was a time travel comedy about two teenage guys who are not very smart, but lovable. The movie became a surprise hit. People loved it. Suddenly, Keanu became a teen star. Posters, interviews, magazines. But he didn't want to be seen as a silly actor. He wanted to do serious roles too. After Bill and Ted, many people thought Keanu was only good for dumb, cute roles. But Keanu didn't want to be typecast. He rejected many offers. He said no to big money, just because he didn't feel the role was true to him. He once said, "I'd rather ride the subway and read Shakespeare than act in a bad film." Can you imagine how brave that is in a city like Hollywood? In 1991, Keanu acted in My Own Private Idaho with his best friend River Phoenix. It was a very deep film, emotional, painful, about lost people searching for love. Keanu showed the world that he could be a serious actor. He became close friends with River Phoenix. They were like brothers, both kind, both silent, both full of pain inside. But on October 31st, 1993, River tragically died from a drug overdose at just 23 years old. Keanu was devastated. He stayed silent about it for a long time, but it was clear that losing River broke him. Keanu became quieter, more thoughtful, and he no longer cared about fame. Instead, he focused on doing meaningful work and living a simple life. Even years later, he would speak about River with love and sadness. In an interview, when asked about death, Keanu said, "The ones who love us will miss us." That line showed just how much he still missed his friend. Losing River changed Keanu deeply, but it also made him a more compassionate and humble person. During this time, Keanu lived very simply. He loved motorcycles. He once said they gave him a feeling of freedom and danger. He also loved reading philosophy. Books like Thus Spoke Zarathustra and The Brothers Karamazov. He didn't like parties. He often sat alone in cafes with a book and black coffee. Sometimes people saw him feeding stray dogs. Sometimes he was seen sitting quietly in the park, just watching the world. Fame didn't change him. He said, "Money doesn't mean anything to me. I give away what I don't need." In 1994, Keanu got a script that changed his life. A movie called Speed. A bus, a bomb, a cop, a thrilling race against time. Keanu played Jack Traven, a calm, strong police officer. This movie was a super hit. Keanu became a global superstar overnight. People screamed his name. Directors wanted him. His posters were everywhere. But guess what? He didn't let the fame go to his head. When the producers asked him to do Speed 2, he said no, because the story didn't feel right. They offered him millions, but he walked away. He chose honesty over money. In the late 1990s, something unbelievable happened. A script landed on his table, something strange, futuristic, and powerful. It was called The Matrix. The directors were the Wachowski siblings. They wanted Keanu to play Neo, the one, the savior, the hacker who would change the world. Keanu didn't fully understand the script at first, but he felt something powerful in it. So he said yes. And then, he started training 4 to 5 hours a day. Martial arts, wire work, shooting, philosophy. He trained so hard that he damaged his spine. His neck was injured. He had to undergo surgery before filming. But he didn't tell the directors. Why? Because he didn't want to stop the movie. He continued training with pain in his neck and numb legs. This was real sacrifice. And when The Matrix, 1999, was released, it changed cinema forever. Keanu became Neo, and Neo became a legend. The world saw him as a superhero, a fighter, a savior. But what they didn't see was that Keanu was slowly dying inside. After training for months, even with a damaged spine, Keanu pulled off the impossible. The Matrix, 1999, became a global revolution. People all over the world said, "Who is this man? He's not just an actor, he's something else." But while the movie exploded across theaters, Keanu was going through silent pain. His spine injury had left him with numbness in his legs, and some days he couldn't even stand properly. Still, he never complained. He just took physical therapy, quietly did his exercises, and went back to work. In 1998, Keanu met a young woman named Jennifer Syme. She was a kind, soft-spoken assistant to a famous director. They met at a party. She wasn't impressed by his fame. She liked his shyness and honest eyes. They started dating. For the first time in years, Keanu smiled like a boy. They listened to music together. They talked about poetry. They watched sunsets in silence. And then, in 1999, Jennifer became pregnant. Keanu was going to be a father. He was so happy. He bought books about babies. He decorated a small room in his house for the baby. He once whispered to a friend, "I've never been this excited in my life." But in December 1999, just weeks before the baby was due, tragedy struck. Their daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves, was stillborn. That means she died inside the womb before birth. Keanu was shattered. Jennifer was broken. The pain was too much. Their relationship ended a few weeks later, but they still cared for each other deeply. Keanu became quiet again. He would sit alone on the floor for hours. No TV, no phone, no music, just silence. In April 2001, just 18 months after losing their daughter, Jennifer died in a car crash. She was driving home from a party. She was just 28 years old. When Keanu got the news, he didn't scream. He didn't cry in public. He just stood still. He went home and sat on the same couch where they once watched movies together. He said nothing. That week, he canceled all interviews. He didn't attend Hollywood parties. He didn't talk to anyone. He walked alone at night. He visited the cemetery silently. He later said in an interview, "Grief never ends. It just changes form." Despite the pain, Keanu showed up for work. In 2001 to 2002, he started filming The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions back to back. He trained again, even harder than before. But this time, his eyes were different. He was no longer acting. He was using his real pain to play